Good morning. Welcome to the first series of the AI literacy lecture. My name is David Agboja, as you must have heard, and I will be taking you on AI. So today we'll be talking about introduction to AI, that is, introduction to artificial intelligence. And we'll be defining what is artificial intelligence. We'll be identifying common examples of AI in our daily lives. We'll as well try to understand the main types of artificial intelligence, and then we'll go further to discuss how AI works in a simple way. I bet you've been using AI before now, and you will continue to do so. Then we'll wrap it up with by trying to recognize some of the benefits and challenges of artificial intelligence. So, without further ado, I would like to begin with this question. How many of you have signed into your smartphone using your fingerprint? I believe most of you must have done so. Or the facial recognition software on your device. Now, whenever you do this, you are actually interacting with an AI software. So whenever you put in your fingerprint to a scanner on your phone, the real scanner on your phone, and it recognizes your fingerprint and then grants you access to use your phone. In doing so, you have interacted or you have used an AI. Likewise, some of you who have configured your phone to recognize your voice, when you say, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Android," or whatever you want to name your phone, "Hey my phone," and it responds, you are by doing so interacting with an AI. So all of these are use of technology we call artificial intelligence. So going for that, I'll just say AI. The word artificial intelligence is like it's a long word for me. So we'll just commonly stick with AI. So what is artificial intelligence? Well, by definition, artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer or a machine to mimic or simulate human intelligence, like learning, problem solving, and decision making. Now, you may want to reason, learning for real? Yeah, learning. Okay, take back to the example for the question I asked in the introductory phase. I said, whenever you take your phone and you input your fingerprint and it opens, that you've used an AI, didn't I say so? Yeah, I did say so. So how is this learning? Now you have to remember, when you first bought your phone and you wanted to configure the settings, it was required of you to input your fingerprint a couple of times for the software to recognize that this is your unique print. So when you were doing that, they'll say place your finger, turn it around, this and this and this. By doing so, you are teaching or you are instructing the software to recognize and learn your print, so that when you come next time, you only need just one touch and then it opens. So also for verification purposes, some of you use face verification for different sign-up purposes, and then they'll tell you, open your mouth, turn your face left, right, bend your head. It's looking at, just like a child looks at the mother, consistently during breastfeeding. It's looking at you to know how your ear looks like, your eye, your eyebrow, your chin, your jaw, take cognizance of your facial hairs if you have some, and then that is how it knows and recognizes your face. So in doing so, when you come next time and then blah, your face is on the screen, and then immediately it knows it is Kayode or it is Ngozi, and it opens up. So that is for what definition, how we define artificial intelligence. Now you can also think of it of like an AI robot's brain that learns patterns and makes decisions. Sometimes even better than humans, sometimes not quite. So what do we mean by it can make decisions that are better than humans at sometimes, and then at some other times it can make decisions that are not as good as humans would make. So that said, we want to consider some key terminologies to aid in our understanding of artificial intelligence. One of such is algorithm. So what is an algorithm? An algorithm is simply a step-by-step set of rules for solving a problem. How do we mean? For instance, your mom is leaving home and then she says, Chinedu, wash the dishes. When you are done, sweep the kitchen. And thereafter, help me and go to Mama Nkechi's place and collect that zobo from her that I gave her yesterday. Then when you come back, go and pick your little ones from school. When they get in, make sure they change in from their school uniforms and have their bath. And after they finish having their bath, serve them food. Then after that, you guys go to the courtyard and play. I will be back by 6. Now, this is simply a step-by-step instruction that your mom has given you. And then if you follow all of these instructions, when she comes back, she'll be happy. And you must have solved problems. Problems such as tidying up the kitchen, getting back the zobo from Mama Nkechi, and also helping your junior ones to change in from their outfit, and as well serving them their meal. So you've seen that this is as simple as it is. There's no complex word there. The word algorithm shouldn't scare you. Algo and rhythm shouldn't scare you. It's just a set of instructions or rules. If you follow them, you're going to solve a problem or reach a desired end. So that's one terminology. Another one is machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is simply a way computers learn from data without being explicitly programmed to do so. I repeat, machine learning is a way computers learn from data without being explicitly programmed to do so. So remember we mentioned about when we were talking about how you have interacted with AI. I talked about the fingerprint, the face verification, and I told you that at the initial stage, when you are first of all initializing that your fingerprint on the device, you are going to be, putting your fingerprint repeatedly, or as the case for face verification, you are going to be turning your face up, left, right, blink your eye, open your mouth, and all of that. So when you are doing that, the computer is learning. So that is by learning in that fashion or in that way, it is what we call machine learning. The aspect of a machine learning. And some of us, when you hear machine, you simply think about moving objects with 2 tires or 4 tires, or as the case may be. No, that is not what the kind of machine we're talking about here. In engineering, a machine is simply a tool that performs a function. So in this particular case, we're talking about the software. So that is what we call machine learning. So another one is neural networks. Now, we won't go very deep on this one. Just know that the neural network is a computer system inspired by the human brain. A computer system inspired by the human brain. I believe most of you here did biology, or you are doing or attending classes or have taken classes in biology, and then you have been told about the brain, the central nervous system, about the neurons, how the axons and the passing of messages. When you touch something that is hot, it passes a message to your brain. Tells your brain it's hot, and your brain sends back an information to your hand, which is the effector muscle, and your hand has to leave that thing immediately. Or that I throw a ball at you right now and you duck, even if you didn't practice that before now. That is, reflex. So all these are powered by what we call neural networks. I mean the real neural networks in your brain. But this is what engineers and software developers and machine learning engineers, data scientists have been able to, integrate into a software to mimic such actions. For instance, some of you who play some games like on your phone, or there's this game I've seen for children when you say a word and then the the dummy on the phone will repeat the same word. or that you blink your eyes and then the dummy on your screen will blink its eyes as well. So that's through the help of AI incorporated or embedded into software development, and then you see things like that happening. So another example, another aspect we're looking at is types of AI. Yes, I did mention in the when I was listening to the outline that we are going to try to understand the main types of AI now. And there are different types of AI, diverse types of AI, but we're going to be looking at the main types of AI. So we have what we call the narrow AI, we have the general AI, and then we have the super intelligent AI. So what is the narrow AI? So this narrow AI is simply AI that can do repetitive and simple everyday tasks. They can do it very, very well. As a matter of fact, all this while I've been mentioning examples of AI. I've actually been mentioning what narrow AI can do. For instance, I'm back again to the face verification and the fingerprint. These are narrow AI. Narrow AI are AIs that are developed to do or programmed to do very specific and repetitive tasks. That is what narrow AIs stand for. Like repetitive tasks, like what? For instance, the face verification. Every time it is your face, every time it's your face, and once it's not your face, it's not going to allow access. So that's very repetitive in nature. While for general AI will be self-aware and capable of carrying out any tasks that its mind can, come up with. I beg to say that most of what we're seeing today are not general AI per se. Most of what we still see today are narrow AI. So general AI is still being developed. Some of them have been deployed, but not for general human usage or general public, consumption. So back to narrow AI. We also look at the model in itself. Narrow AI models employs pre-programmed fixed domain models. Like these models have already been, programmed. That is, they have been given some sorts of instructions that they cannot go against. Are you getting me? Like they have been how would I put it? It's like the difference between a live conversation and then a pre-recorded conversation. So in a live conversation, there are rooms for surprises. Anything can happen. Someone may ask a question or make a gesture or behave in a certain way, and then it's going to you know deviate what must have been or should be communicated. Whereas when you are watching a movie, the movie has already been set and then it has already been recorded and you are watching it. Nothing can change. It is just going to be what it's supposed to be. Now that is how you may look at this. Or that also difference in the models of if a narrow AI and a general AI. Whereas a general AI is an operating environment that helps the general AI reason and learn on its own. I hope you understand that anyway. So in terms of awareness, now AI is self-aware, it is artificially conscious, it has cognitive capabilities, and is lacking from narrow AI. You understand? What I mean is that cognitive abilities are lacking in a narrow AI. Whereas in general AI will be regarded rather as being highly sophisticated, intelligent, and fully aware, which implies that it will have common sense, creativity, and the capacity for emotional expression. That is for general AI. Like I told you, we have not seen much of general AI yet. So in terms of knowledge transfer, narrow AI cannot be transferred. Knowledge cannot be transferred from narrow AI to other areas or tasks. Whereas in general AI uses knowledge knowledge transfer to tackle new problems and domains. So, like I said, what are we experiencing now? Now AI. Everything you see today is what? Now AI. Whereas it's predicted that, in the future, say, some say 2040, some say 2050, some say 2030. Recently, people are saying 2030, we're going to be seeing general AI. And believe me, don't be surprised if you see general AI in 2029 or even 2027. It's very, very possible. ChatGPT took the IT world by storm, and it's still storming as we speak. So the third type of AI is what we call super intelligent AI. And this is where it gets interesting. You see, this is called ASI. We've been talking about AI. It's an AI, or is it? It's artificial super intelligence AI. And like I said, it is very interesting to know. Well, this is a hypothetical software based artificial intelligence system with an intellectual scope beyond all human intelligence. You see, in your biology, they tell you that the genetic difference between a man and a baboon, as between you and a baboon, and then between you and the banana peel you throw away every day is a little under 1% to 2%, as the case may be, a little under 1.5%. So that tells you that you are not very different or unique as you may think that you are. I'm not saying between you and your brother or your sister or your father or your mother. I'm saying between you and a baboon or a chimpanzee. It's not quite much. So, but that little difference, why the baboons, the chickens, you kill chickens every day, the hen, your cow, the reason we are loading after them like the way we do. I know in the Bible, God have given us authority over, everything that's created, but this is science. The reason why we are ahead of them in such, impeccable, pedigree is because of our ability to use, more of our brains, because of our intelligence. And now someone is telling you that that's your intelligence is so small that very soon, like we just talked about 2030, 2027, it's an election year. So it's not far in our eyes as Nigerians. We look forward to it. So we are saying 2030, 2040, 2050 as max, that we're going to have software systems that are super intelligent, more than any human being. So what does that tell you? It tells you that we may turn to anyway, that's extreme to think or say. So we may turn to the chickens and the goats, not physically or morphologically, but in terms of our capacity to think. There was this Greek word, egosum, whatever. I think, therefore I am. So we may be, even if you look at today, they say the phones keep getting smarter while the users keep getting dumb. When I was around your age, when I was growing up, the smartphone took us by storm. We were among the first to start using the iPhone, the iPhone and the Android, and then they could all of a sudden spell better than us. Yes, they could spell better than us, and then we started losing the ability to spell very well, because once you write any gibberish, your phone will auto correct you. And then if let me say you want to spell Monday, and then instead of using M you used N, and instead of putting Y at the end you put Z, it is going to correct you that it's Monday and not non-days. You see, so that made us to let our guards down, and then we started relying or outsourcing every form of reasoning to AI. You see, we'll talk more about this, and the fear of artificial intelligence supremacy, and the likes of we getting dumber and the machines getting smarter, and also all of these things that has to do with how it affects us and our dignity. When we talk about if I get to take you on the ethics of AI. So, but for now, just know that this ASI, artificial superintelligence, is still a hypothesis. You know what a hypothesis is, right? Okay, so that's it. So it's for now we're always it's theoretical, and we're always seeing it, in sci-fi movies like Ex Machina, David. These are movies that have tried to show us how super intelligence can be, including Charlie. I don't know who watched Charlie. I think it was one movie where AI were police officers in New York, and then they were charged with combating crime and all of that in the city of New York. And we all know how the movie played out. You can have a look at the movie for a better understanding of that. So we move forward to AI in daily life. AI in daily life. You see, what do you think AI is used in your daily life? Well, for example, your smartphone, we've talked about the voice assistants. Then I've also just quite recently mentioned the predictive text. So AI can be used as for text prediction. In short, the algorithm which ChatGPT uses to generate text content for you is actually what we call predictive text. In the basic term, not some technical jargons. Simply just predictive text. So also you use it in social media. It helps you to suggest content. If you bring out your phone right now, everybody, and then open your WhatsApp, open your Facebook, or open your what's this one you guys use very well? TikTok, or your TikTok or your Twitter. You're not gonna your ex rather. It's not gonna call Twitter. It's called X. Your ex rather. You're not gonna all have the same feed, would you? You wouldn't, and that's because there's now what we call personalized, you know, suggestion. They are suggesting content for you based on what you like. Just like based on how you behave. Not quite similar, but this could also in medicine, they say precision medicine or personalized medicine, when you are treating somebody based on their own genetic makeup, that is their individualism. So in software or in user experience of most softwares, they are now programming these systems by incorporating AI so that they can give you content or suggest contents to you based on what you like and your search histories and your clicks and your likes and all of that you perform online. You also see this in Google Feeds. When you open your Chrome and then you go to your Chrome homepage and then you see some suggested news feeds for you. These are not the same across mobile phones or individuals because we all like different things. We don't actually like the same things at the same time. So another aspect is healthcare, diagnosing diseases. During the COVID-19 year, that is 2020, many people there was this conspiracy theories that was flying around of the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine and all of that, saying that a vaccine should normally take dozens of years to materialize. That how come this vaccine is being produced in less than 6 months, in less than 9 to 10 months, and so people were doubting the efficacy or there were ethical concerns and health concerns regarding the safety of these vaccines. I wouldn't want to go into whether that's true or that's false, but one thing I want to say about it regarding this topic is that machine learning was used to help in surface cell antigen binding, which accelerated the manufacture of these vaccines, those COVID-19 vaccines. Yes, it did. And that was still the early stage, so it was quite very, very experimental. So I wouldn't want to say if the vaccines were good or they were bad, but this is what we know today. So another area is also drug discovery, with the use of or the application of data analysis and all of that data pipeline technology, we have been able to the aspect of drug discovery for preclinical trials have been speed up thanks to what the application of artificial intelligence in healthcare. So transportation, all of you have heard about Tesla. Okay, even if you have not heard about Tesla, you've heard about Elon Musk. That's the brain behind Tesla. And then we've heard about self-driving cars in the city of in San Francisco Bay, and taxis that drive you, come pick you up from your house and drive you to your location. There's no driver; it's just the vehicle. So it's not Bolt or Uber. In this case, it's just the vehicle, no driver. You just step in and then it takes you where else you want to go. So these are not, it's not just being experimented anymore, they are on the streets. So it's what we're seeing today, how we are using AI in our daily lives. Now, in education, um you see students these days, they are given an assignment. It goes down to where we talk about, using your brain less and having the system do all the thinking for you, making you dumber, or making you dumb, or making you lose that ability to think. You see most students, when they get them assignments, go and browse these, go and investigate these. They simply go home and just, put in a prompt into a chat GPT, or just carry the whole image and put in a chat GPT, and voila, you get your answer in fashion of like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and you have your answers. And bet me they are as accurate as you can ever be. So that is how people also use AI in education. So another aspect is entertainment. I think this is more like the first one. The other one talked about social media. It helps you to. I don't know how many of you use Netflix anyway, because you guys are still, most of you are just having your smartphones right now. I don't know. I may be wrong. So Netflix, it helps you to recommend movies. Netflix is an app, by the way, which you can use to watch movies. It's like your Africa Magic, your MM2 all in one. So you can use it to watch movies. So it can recommend movies for you using AI. Netflix will recommend movies for you that suits your personality. So that is it. So another aspect is we move on to how does AI work? How does AI work? Now, this can be technical, but I will try as much as possible to make it surface level. So let's use one simple analogy. Imagine you want a computer to recognize photos of a cat. The first step you might want to, or the first step you should take is you show the AI thousands of images of a cat. You may also include some images that are not cats. Then secondly, next, it will learn the patterns. It will know that, okay, it has a fur, it has an ear, it has whiskers, it has, a forearm and a limb, and all of that. To also learn about the sizes. So next is to predict whether a new picture is a cat. Next is for you to test the model, is to give it another image and have it predict, is this a cat or not? So if it's not a cat, it's going to be able to tell. Then you know you're making progress. If it is a cat, it should be able to tell. Now you can actually improve on this by making it to know different breeds of cats, Persian cat, British terrier, all of those different kind of cats. This terrier is a dog, sorry. So those are different ways how AI works. So it's like when you feeding it the image is like an input, then when it's processing the image, you have to write an algorithm for it to process that image, and then a desired output. It can be 1 or 0, yes or no. Like in the case of detecting if it's a cat or not. Then in doing this, you have to have good training data and good learning models, and then combining this, you have a model. So we'll also look at the pros and cons of AI. So we'll just simply watch it through because of time. The benefits of AI: speed and number one is speed and accuracy in task. E.g., in the medicine aspect, I explained to you, development of the COVID-19 vaccines was quite fast, and as well, it is used in weather forecasts. Secondly, is it can reduce human workload. Yeah, like I said, like in an assignment, and then you go home and then you use ChatGPT, Grok, or Gemini, and then in seconds you have your answers. You have it has reduced your workload by one sleepless night. Another one, thirdly, is it helps in dangerous tasks like search and rescue robots. Yeah, the AI is being used for search and rescue. When a fire is burning or there's a building collapse, there are some places due to safety or fear humans cannot penetrate, and then there are some AIs that can actually penetrate these terrains and then help or assist in rescue. So, what are the challenges? Anything that has a advantage has disadvantage. One of the such challenges is that it can replace human jobs. For instance, this is not the first time that technology will be replacing human jobs. When I was very young, they used to have call centers, but today there is no call center anywhere I can think of. So that job is gone. Um, so, but for today, what is happening right now? We're looking at some fields that are being threatened by AI. Fields like writers. AI can write today. It can write very interesting stories for you. It can also write movies. Yeah, AI can write movies and direct a movie as well. So even in data analysis, AI is some of the tasks have been automated. In short, recently most software entry level software engineering roles are not existing anymore because large corporations and firms can afford to hire a new developer to train their AI models, which will handle most of the job of a junior software developer. But don't be scared. Most Nigerian companies still hire entry-level software developers, so you can go ahead and learn software development if you want to. It's only going to help you do your work easier. Another challenge is bias in algorithm. If you train your model, that is your AI, with data that is biased, by bias, let me give an example. For instance, in the cats, you train the model being trained to recognize cats. Maybe you keep showing that model only Persian cats, Persian cats, Persian cats. You didn't show it any other kind of cat except Persian cat. Now, when you show it a Turkish van, it's another breed of cat. The model will not know that is a cat, or it might not know that is a cat. I get on the point. Or maybe you shows a tiger. A tiger is a cat anyway, but it's a bigger kind of cat, that kind of sub-breed or whatever. But then when you do so, the model, when you don't show the model all the areas it's supposed to know, and you use one-sided data, it is known as bias, and it's going to lead to having an algorithm that is biased. So another challenge of AI is privacy concerns. So people are concerned that the information they are sharing with these AI models are not going to be kept confidential by the tech companies behind the AI model. We will not go deep on that. If I happen to take you on ethics in AI, we'll talk more on that. So people over trusting machines. You see, some people are taking their life problems to go and discuss with AI, and that is very, very bad. In fact, the one of the founders of OpenAI, the parent company of that produced the software ChatGPT, just recently warned last week that teenagers and young adults are using AI as a personal therapy. What do I mean? When they have issues with their boyfriends, their girlfriends, their mom, their siblings, their dad, or their teacher, they will go and start telling AI and asking AI for advice. So, and that involves, releasing a lot of personal details. So people are over trusting AI. So lastly, again, not lastly, the future. What does the future of AI look like? What I would like you to, think or say amongst yourself, what do you think AI would be able to do in the next 10 years, like in 2035? What do you think? Anyway, if you ask me, I think it's gonna improve on personalized learning tools, smarter robots, and AI will be helping scientists and doctors. Yes, there are lots of application of AI in health that is a whole different topic on its own. So I will encourage you to learn how AI works, try your hand out on AI, and also embrace technology because before they tell you you should know how to read and write, it is the basic thing everybody should be able to do for survival. But today, I tell you, know how to use ChatGPT, know how to use AI, artificial intelligence. Else, you are going to be an old papa in your things. So, key takeaway from this lecture: AI is not magic. It is maths, data, and logic. It is not a witch. No go say now Igbo man juju. No, no be juju. No be juju. It's simply your mathematics. So take your mathematics in school serious if you want to work in AI. Take your biology serious, your data, your statistics, and then logic. Which is also part of mathematics. Is an extension of mathematical reasoning. So that is, and then make it part of your everyday life, but not too much. So don't overtrust AI, but use AI efficiently. Then you can learn basic skills of AI on your own if you want to. You can enroll in a course for data analytics or data science, just to have a feel of it. So I will entertain your questions. Be very happy to entertain your questions, get them across to me, and then I would immediately send in my replies. So that will be all. Thank you for your time. I do not take it for granted, and have a nice day.